2. East Hampton Town, ARB. We are live.
Okay, can we start without Chip?
Yep.
It's with Chris?
Yes,
Chip.
we have a quorum.
Okay.
He can join us when he's...
Welcome to the meeting of the Town of East Hampton's Architectural Review Board. Today is June 20th, 2024. I am Frank Attard, Vice Chair, filling in for our Chair, Chip Ray, who is out this week. I want to state for the record that as we have currently 3 board members present, hopefully 4, applicants do have the right to postpone their application being heard today if they choose until all 5 board members are present. As a matter of procedure for applicants here today, for those of you who are not familiar, a board member will give a brief summary of the application, after which applicants are welcome to come to the podium to present their application and to respond to questions. Please state your name when you come to the podium and make sure you speak into the microphone for our records. Our first order of business is approving last meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Hang on. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of May 23rd, 2024?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Approved.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry to jump the gun.
That's okay. Eagerness is welcome. Okay. Our first application is for business signs. This is 457 Montauk Highway in East Hampton, Suffolk County, tax map number 300-166-4-20. Diane, this is you.
Yes, this is for a sign for Epic Insurance Consultants in that shopping or commercial center where Domaine Freni wines are. I think that's how you recognize it. And this is an application for the building in the center, which is quite large, for an 11 square foot building sign. What do we have on the screen? Let's see the overall picture of either my picture or their picture of the place itself.
I don't see that on my broadcast. I see the map of the Pantego Commons.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Okay, there we go. So so that's the building, which seems to be vacant now. And this sign is going to fit right into that, between the lintel and the columns in that space. And it's a rather discreet sign. It totals a little less than 11 square feet. And there's a decal on the door, which you just saw, which is less than 4 square feet. So certainly everything is within the allowable signage. It's going to be, well, that's their logo, which is quite simple. And it's going to be in block, 3/4 inch thick Epic logo blocks, white, mounted to the building. And we should have a picture of that too, of the actual sign. Anyway, it fits nicely within this sort of colonial flavored facade. And I think that since it is well within the bounds signage wise, it seems there you go. Seems very acceptable to me.
My one question is, I believe that is, correct me, I wish Chris were here to correct me if I'm wrong. It's called the entablature in Greek architecture. There is a blue band in the rendering? Is that on the existing there's no, like, do you see?
May I speak?
Yes.
Hi, Denise from Hampton Signs.
Okay.
They're proposing a blue band also.
Okay.
Where do you see this blue band?
Right here on, running across the building, which is not part of this
across.
application, but I don't think it's there now.
Well, I have a photograph of what's there now.
I think
Chris?
the application pending for
Okay.
commercial, they're going to be painting the building.
Hi there.
It's a future application.
Okay, it's not approved, so I was just curious.
That's a good question.
know.
Yeah.
That's the plan. That's
Oh, so It is there. Okay.
It's kind of a rustish orange now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's the existing.
Please.
So as she said,
If you
it's just
haven't.
block letters with, and their logo, unraised blocks going across the front of that fascia.
Yes, I think it's quite discreet and it seems to suit. And I think I have a distant picture. It includes the wine store's signage and it's in balance with that sign, maybe even smaller.
Kathy, any?
No, I have no comments. It seems perfectly, it seems simple and relatively modest
No
for the
more
side of the building, size of the building.
Issues?
I believe they're going to remove that architectural detail at some point too, but that'll be in that other application.
That's another application.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is just for the signage,
Right,
which seems
right.
to me to be fine. So unless
Chris,
there's
do you
any-
want to, do we want to spend a minute? You can just, if you haven't seen this, just
No, I've
review.
seen it.
You've seen
I
it?
had no objections to it whatsoever.
Okay. Would
Okay,
you like to
so-
make a motion?
Yeah, so I would like to make a motion to accept this application as presented.
Second,
Thank you very much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed. Okay, next one. NAMO, 474 Westlake Drive, Montauk, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 300-6-7. Chris, this is you.
this is the wrong photo. This is not the right photo. There we go.
There we go.
All right. This is an application for two business signs for the restaurant property formerly known as Swallow East, now to be a restaurant named Namo. Property is at 474 Westlake Drive along the Montauk Dock area, on that kind of restaurant row along leading it toward the docks. There's a two-sided sign at the street already in place that is described in the current application as 62 inches by 28 inches by 3/16 of an inch Durabond street sign with blue letters on a white background. The application materials include a colored chip, which I can share with everybody, but you can pretty well see the color there. It's on, let's see, and the sign in the application notes 3/16 Durabond aluminum composite with 3x3 cedar posts. There's no height above grade indicated on the material in the application, but measuring it on site, that's a 2-foot raised bed, and the sign is about 61 inches above grade in that bed. So altogether, it's about roughly 7 feet above the ground. Yeah, so the illustration there doesn't have the grade information at all, but the sign as built also has two small spotlights mounted in the ground down low, shining up at the sign. Those and the as built, those are 4x4 metal posts instead of 3x3 cedar, and they're painted. It's a green color, and the signs looks to be actually that corrugated waterproof material. It doesn't look like it's the aluminum material, but it's sort of reinforced as a sandwich on this two-sided sign. So that's the one. The second sign is wall mounted on the building, or is to be wall mounted because it's not there yet, facing the parking lot and described on the application as 63 inches by 13.5 inches, brushed aluminum, raised lettering, and the label on the photo page of the application calls out quarter-inch brushed aluminum with stud-mounted letters. So I'm assuming that that's a simulation of the brushed aluminum color. There's no mention or dimensions regarding the logo on top. I'm assuming that that's 13.5 by 63 would be the lettering portion of that.
It may be listed on, we'll talk about this, but it may be listed on the application
No,
itself. Okay.
I didn't see it. It might be, but I didn't see it
Okay.
when I was reading through the application. The photo depicting the sign, yeah, so there's no lighting noted in the application or visible on the empty wall that's there now, which you could see in the photograph. There was a small sign there before. It looks like it's just kind of ghosted. It actually looks like they might have stained that darker since the photo was taken. So it's really hard to see any detail on that wall, but it looks like there might have been a sign there. And then there's this other sign right by the front door for a differently named establishment. I don't know the history of that at all, or whether that's proposed to which sounds kind of confusing. I don't know, but maybe the applicant could describe what's happening with that as well. Does that about cover it?
I didn't know it was there. So it looks like it's from a different company or previous.
Yeah, the restaurant, this restaurant was called Swallow East.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same owners or different owners, but that sign is completely a different business.
Yeah.
Another restaurant in
Yeah, in between, it was must have been pretty short-lived.
Right, especially if they're using corrugated on the main sign. So I would assume
Okay.
that's going to disappear and.
But your brushed aluminum raised letters would be above the bench there on the
Mhm.
right in the middle of the picture.
Correct.
Is there anything else you would like to add to
I
that?
think you covered it all. It looks like the logo itself is about the same size as the lettering. Maybe the little tail might be a little bit higher, but looking at proportions, it looks very similar to the height of the lettering.
I didn't notice anything in the application and the planning review of it about square footage totals,
Right.
and other requirements. So, although I don't see anything objectionable to the changes, that from the proposed to the as-built, and this one's not built yet, it's a little bit difficult to get the details of the picture without the full information. So I don't know how you all
It
feel
would
about
be,
it.
right, for a resolution, we didn't need to know the square footage of each sign. So,
It is in the
63 by 12.
so it is in the application.
It's listed in the application,
Okay, that's what I thought.
the logos and the letterings, and it's fine.
Okay,
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's,
can we scroll down? Let's just confirm that. So,
Okay, there's the logo. Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies.
okay, so do we think that those numbers conform
Dimensions
with,
match with your site inspection?
17.
10 inches by 1'4" sounds about right relative to the 13-inch raised letters. Well, it says 1 foot there, but it's 13 inches in there. Now that says 63 by 13, so 62 by 12. Close.
So that meets the code.
Yeah. 5'1", 5'1" by 2'3". That's accurate as per
Okay.
the building.
okay. And there's no lighting, correct, on either sign? I mean, can we,
There is lighting on the road street front sign. I don't know the history of signage on this property, if that was a replacement of an existing sign. Maybe the posts were even there. I really don't
Yeah, I
know.
think the posts were there.
can we see that again? Because I couldn't see where the lighting was on that. Zoom in.
It's just in the ground.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, my,
I don't know if the lighting
I don't know if
conforms,
that's
right?
light, I don't know if the lighting is I don't think it meets code. It's my understanding that wouldn't be dark sky compliant. You could have like an arm, a
Right,
gooseneck
correct. We're not
lighting.
submitting for the lighting that's pre-existing. We don't
So
know we don't even know if it works.
Okay, so I think to me, that sounds like a code compliance issue than it is more of like, it's not being reviewed here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Resolution, no lighting is approved.
Yeah.
We could,
There might be another resolution that has to approve something, but this
Yeah.
resolution, this has nothing to do with lighting.
yeah,
The sign,
this is really the logical place on this property to have had a sign over the past. I just don't remember the Swallow East sign, and if it
Right,
was,
but yeah, some of them
it
didn't
was
have
around
approvals.
there. It might have been that exact sign with just a different
I would
panel on it.
think for the lighting for a sign, I don't know what they would call this legally, like a positive statement, like there is lighting on it, but if it is not in the resolution that there's lighting, you would have to state in the resolution that there is.
Proactively.
You have to be proactive. It has to be stated in the resolution that there is lighting. So it could be that it's grandfathered in. We don't know. So I think for this resolution, we would just.
Yeah, it's rare for it to be grandfathered, though. Usually lighting is a specific
guess is it
approval
doesn't
process. So I just write the resolution without lighting.
Yeah.
That's all. I just
And do
say
you
no
have any,
lighting is
do you have any
approved.
idea about lighting on against the building for the raised letters?
I don't think there's any lighting on the building, but that could be from many years ago. This place
Right.
has changed hands
Sure.
a million times, so.
Understood.
Could be
Diane,
pre-existing.
sorry. Yeah. Any
That's
comments?
not a thing. It still has to
Yeah, I
be
think that-
approved, even if it's pre-existing, unless it's
Might have
approved.
Been approved, might have been approved. right.
Possible,
Yeah.
but it's, yeah,
Dark sky
seems
came
unlikely.
many years later.
Right, but then you still have to be dark sky compliant, even if it was approved, 20 years ago. So that's why we change those laws, is so that we're
Mhm.
effective with those kinds of policies. I think just approve it without the lighting.
Do you guys feel comfortable
don't
about
state
Say again?
you guys feel comfortable about the character of the signs, both of them?
Right.
Yeah,
Any
no problem with that.
comments, Diane,
Yeah,
Kathy?
I think
I'm
it's
fine with
I
it.
wish them luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I like the light. I like it. So,
Yeah.
I like it too.
So with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the two signs as submitted, with stipulation that there is no lighting in this application.
Yeah, no lighting approved. I'll second that.
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I did.
Okay, passed. Thank you. All right. Next application is the row or the row?
One hopes the
row.
row.
Hopefully not the row. 216 Main Street, Amagansett, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 300-171-3-3. Kathy, this is you.
Okay, thank you.
There's some good building,
We'll hear.
good business names in this
Yeah.
week's application.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're pretty good. This is an application, I took these pictures this morning. Thank you, Julie, for your patience. It's for a new sign. If you could just enlarge that, it would help. It's the most modest sign I've ever seen. I want to applaud
they're
this.
very
Thank you very much. It is 10 1/4 inches by 20 inches. It is a really small sign. And it's double-sided. And that's what it looks like. It says the row. So I think it's a great sign. It's very sophisticated looking. And it fits right into the Main Street Historic District, to my mind. So I would like to, unless you have anything you'd like to add. It's double-sided, and it's well within the, permitted.
Yeah, there was a freestanding one out front that we removed, and
I didn't see it when I
Yeah,
went
so
this
that's all
morning.
gone.
So yeah, no, it looks great. It looks great. So
It suits their chic reputation.
yeah, it looks nice. So unless anybody has any questions or comments.
Let me just, so are we approving, so it's a signage, technically these are two signs, right? There's the row label and then the open closed, or the closed sign.
No, I
that's
don't think the
not
closed sign
under permit.
counts. It's the closed sign comes off and on, right?
That's considered
Those are
like
hours.
wayfinding or hours.
Yeah, I don't think that
Okay.
counts. This is a double-sided sign, the row. The hours, an open and closed sign isn't considered part of the square footage that we're approving.
So it's double-sided even
Uh-huh.
though it's only visible from.
Yes, Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
okay. So unless,
Would the applicant like to have anything to add to this? But I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Chris, any comments?
No, I think it's great.
Okay, you want to make a motion?
yeah, sure. I'd like to make a motion to approve this application as submitted.
Second?
I'll
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Okay, passed. Thank you.
love it. Okay.
All right, next one. Nosh.
Nosh? No, I thought it was-
136 Main Street, also in Amagansett. Suffolk County Tax Map Number 300-172-6-3.
This is
Again,
Nosh and not Brunch.
Gosh, there.
This is Nosh, yeah, okay,
That
we've
is
got,
the
there we go, there's Nosh. Okay, I'm glad you're here, Will, because I had a question on this one.
Sure.
This is another application for a sign. These are, this is on the storefront. That's the side, that's the eastern elevation. So there are 3 of these Nosh signs. It's not a great photo, I'm sorry. It was very reflective this morning. I didn't use a flash, but they're all the same size. And they're, a vinyl that's affixed, very thin, it almost feels like paper affixed to the window. But I was trying to figure out the square footage. So these are 48 by 11 and a half, which I did measure. So that's times 3. So it's 4 by, so basically they're 12, so it's roughly 12 square feet of signage. So I
Yeah, it
think
was
that's
pretty
fine.
minimal, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I just wanted to check. It's pretty modest. It's simple. I don't have it's not obtrusive. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Couple of things. First of all, just, sorry, procedurally, did you introduce yourself for the record on the last application?
Will
Okay.
McClear, Ocean Graphics.
Okay, great. There's something in the window for the boba tea.
Yeah, I don't know what, I think that was some like hanging something that they just threw in there. I don't know if that's
Oh, I
behind
didn't
the
even
glass.
notice that.
Right.
Is
So
that hanging inside?
Yeah,
it's hanging inside. So it does appear that it counts as a sign. I mean, I'm personally fine with it, but it needs to be, technically it's not approved. Correct, Charlie?
And also, I can't tell.
Is it electric? Is it
It's sort of illuminated, and that's also not allowed.
an illuminated sign we can't have? You
Yeah.
know that though,
Yeah.
right?
It's not
Yeah.
part of the application.
no, yeah.
No, it's just the
Right, yeah.
nosh, but.
I don't know if he lights it up or if it's just temporary or what it is, but yeah.
Okay.
Right. So we would need to be clear in our resolution
Right.
that it's only for the vinyl
Right.
lettering.
Nosh,
of-
the nosh, yeah, no, only for noshing.
And those are going to be getting actually redone. That's just a temporary.
Oh,
We're going to
okay.
put them on the inside of the glass.
Okay, I was wondering why it was on the outside, because I could feel it.
Yeah, we're going to put them on the inside.
Okay,
So it'll actually
that
be
makes
a little
sense.
bit less,
Even more
stark. It'll be-
discreet.
Right,
Yeah.
right, okay, that sounds good. Well, we'll include in the resolution that there's no, electric lit signs that are permitted, just to remind folks, but I would like to, I have no problem with this unless people have questions. I think it's pretty straightforward and it looks fine, so I'm.
No, I like the fact that it's on the windows and not attached,
Yeah.
a sign attached to the
Yeah.
building and
Yeah.
kind of detracting from it.
Right. So,
But I wonder if the big Madison IT sign is going to go away.
Well, they're still there. They just moved 2 doors down.
yeah,
They're still there.
yeah, no, that's all still,
Oh,
yeah, they're upstairs too, I think,
So this comes out to 11 square feet exactly.
right.
Okay. So the vinyl will be inside the window.
Mhm.
Okay. Diana, Chris, any comments? I assume no.
No, I think it's fine.
Okay, great. I'd like to
Okay.
make a motion to accept this application as proposed, and we'll stipulate in the resolution that there are no lighted signs approved for this.
Do I have a second?
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved and passed. Next one, also you, Kathy. Brunch, 14 Amagansett Square. A lot of Amagansett today. Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-172-12-5. Okay,
Okay, great. This is 14 Amagansett Square. Was I at the right place? Is this sign, no, it's this building, isn't it?
It's in that building, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
okay,
just
so
several units
this is
in it, right?
just a mock-up, right? This is not, it's not hung already. Right, it's still pink something, pink
No, they're
chicken.
there. It's hung. It's a few,
Oh, I
Yours
took
down.
pictures of the wrong building then. Okay, well, that's no good.
there. Yeah, that's one.
All
I
right,
think that might have been the mock-up,
okay.
or maybe that's, I don't know.
Because it was 14, it didn't indicate which one, so I just went to 14. All right, I should
Is
have,
this, is this your photo or the applicant's photo?
that's the applicant's photo. My
Okay.
photo is of pink.
Yeah,
Your
that's-
photo. Oh, well done. Thank you, Will. Will bailed me
Okay.
out on this one.
So how many
Okay.
signs are there that are being proposed?
They're proposing the one sign.
There's that one, and then there's the one on the building, the raised letters.
Okay, so what's being proposed is what we're looking at.
Building
Correct.
sign hanging, yeah, but the application only.
I submitted an addition,
Oh.
just recently.
Well, I don't have that.
It was in the screen, I saw it up, yeah.
Well, it wasn't in my packet, so.
This is your rendering that was added today.
It was added today?
No, it's just a rendering of the sign.
Oh,
That one?
Yes,
in acrylic letters. Okay.
so it's pretty small.
Okay, are these raised letters or is it painted on the building?
They're half-inch acrylic letters, yeah, they're just a little,
Acrylic letters, half
Yep.
inch.
Right, so it's that up there. Oh, my goodness, okay.
So they're affixed to the building?
correct.
Do they,
Half
do
inch
they
raised.
stand off or is it?
They're flush to the building,
Flush
just
to
a
the
half an inch out, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty delicate letter,
All
so
right.
there's not much to it.
Yeah.
Fastened to the building.
Fastened to the building, front with this little umbrella. I don't know if you can see that in the picture.
I think those
but
are like
this is
half a
what
square,
the-
no, maybe 1 square
This is
foot,
what the,
Right, so
1.15.
supposed to look
one
like.
question I have is, so is that a temporary,
One?
temporary, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, my question is,
And they made that, they provided that, they put that sign up
right,
themselves.
curious, can I ask legally Will to vouch for the color? Because what I'm seeing in the photo appears black and the rendering is blue.
Navy at least, yeah.
Yeah, it's a navy.
Yeah, because this is a.
But it looks fine to me.
The
I don't-
letters in that photo look black also, and the rendering shows those as navy as well.
There, that's what you mean?
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's, you know,
I think.
So we just need to have the color
Color.
correct in the
Yeah, it's
resolution.
just a classic navy.
Okay,
We're gonna call it navy?
Yep.
that's,
Okay. Chris, Diana, any comments?
The letters themselves actually are painted with Rust-Oleum navy spray paint.
And Kathy, we have the square footage for this?
yeah. It's, yeah, it's, 14 inches by 10.57 inches. It's small.
Okay, and then
So
we'll
it's
have, there's the other application that
Yeah.
has the,
Yeah, which I don't have.
Just so long, so
Yeah,
we'll-
so that's, I'm a
Looks like maybe
little
under
out of
4 square
pocket
feet
here,
total, I
because I
think.
don't have
Yeah.
that second one.
or well below.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it would appear that it fits within the, I guess we'll just have to retroactively, I don't, I don't have that paperwork, so I don't know what the dimensions are. the
Right,
Part
I mean-
that's written on the building.
I'm willing to go with this.
Yeah, I am too. I
It's
just don't-
clearly well below the permitted signage square footage, and we did receive something even though we're not looking at it and discuss, because I think we can see it, so.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm okay with it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm okay with
Do you
it.
wanna
I
make a
just,
motion?
sure, I'd like to make a motion to approve this application as submitted, including the letters that are painted on the building, for which we have no dimensions, but we're taking on good faith that that fills in that I don't have in my packet. So that works. Okay, well, as illustrated on the screen.
I'll second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay,
All right, I think that's it for me.
great,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Really?
Next application, Beaches and Beans,
Beaches.
Self-explanatory.
717 Montauk Highway, Montauk, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 300-49-3-31. Chris, this is you.
All right, this is an application for a new business sign, or what they're applying for is a series of business signs placed together to be mounted on the wall of an existing building in downtown Montauk, 717 Montauk Highway. Property is a former auto repair garage at the corner of Montauk Highway and South Embassy Street, next door to John's Pancake House, and across the street on the same side of Main Street is a mobile gas station. The signage proposed is listed as 3 components on the application. You've got the Beaches and Beans sign, which is 129.24 by 9.76 inches, which is 8.76 square feet. Okay, this is all in the application. I didn't have to do the math. Coffee company sign, which is a separate piece of the component, 6.12 inches by 75.75 inches, or 3.22 square feet. So we're up to close to around 12 square feet so far. And then the logo, which is a 30-inch round logo. The signage is described as 3/4-inch acrylic dimensional letters painted black, and the logo is reminiscent of a round official seal. It says Beaches and Beans, Montauk, New York, around a color image of the Montauk Lighthouse. So in this, it looks like the only color in the application is the actual lighthouse rendering. Everything else is painted black on white.
Brown coffee beans, don't forget
Yes,
that.
exactly. Resembling.
So this is only taken together, it's one sign on a side of a building, and
Yeah, I mean, it's an application.
applied, it's three.
That's an application for 3 signs, but they're all read together, as you can see in the rendering in the application. I don't know if you could see there. Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah.
So they're not. I'm not sure how they mount that on the board and batten, kind of a metal board and batten siding of the building. But maybe the applicant can clarify that. There's also no lighting indicated. I'm not sure what that white light fixture like device is on the side. I don't know what that is. It looks like it was probably just an existing element of the building.
Historic, yeah.
Okay. You've been here many times, but could you please introduce yourself?
Tara Burke from Lighthouse Land Planning, here on behalf of the applicant. That is a security camera, I believe, on the right-hand side there. We're not proposing any
Okay.
lighting at this time. If we do need lighting, we will come back for that. And as far as the mounting goes, Will is actually one who designed the sign. Will, do you know how they plan on mounting this?
See,
What does
like
that
like the
mean?
A that doesn't catch one of the battens there is going to be just spacer put out there to keep it all level. That'll be fun.
So it's individual letters that are mounted on, and there's a spacer, the depth of the batten.
To keep
Okay.
them all flush, yeah.
Okay.
So some of these will appear as almost as if they're raised, offset letters, and some of them are going to be. Well, actually, they're all going to feel like that. There's going to be a shadow line
Right.
Right. Some
behind all of
portion
them
it, yeah.
partially. And the same with the round logo. That's a solid logo painted white, and it's just set against the battens there.
Diane, anything?
No, I think it's fine.
Works for me.
Yeah. I wish the business well.
I didn't know if we're going to have car repair around the other side still again.
Well, you are allowed 2 uses, but no car repair plan.
I mean, I think it's a great addition to Main Street to have a coffee shop right there by the pancake houses and the ice cream and all that.
Nice to see something new, right?
Yeah, and it's I think it's been a bit of a sore thumb of a location in the town, and on Main Street, and I think this is going to be great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space for outdoor seating. I don't know if that's part of your zoning application or anything, but
That's site plan.
So
Not us.
again, so can we call it for the resolution? This is, did you say aluminum letters or acrylic?
They're
acrylic
Okay.
dimensional letters. Yeah.
acrylic, yeah, and then the logo is PVC,
How thick are the letters?
1/4 inch.
The 3/4 inch thick. Okay. It's going to have some shadow,
Yeah.
both offset
Yeah, it's
above the
already
battens and also the
pretty, yeah.
letters themselves. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to make
Any
a
other
motion?
comments?
No.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this application as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank
Okay,
you.
passed. Thank you.
So the next one, so low, I don't think here, it's up to you, to your discretion, if you want to go with it or wait till he comes.
Let's wait And if he's not here at the end of the meeting, I would like to present it.
Call and come back at the end.
Okay.
Right.
I was late, that was only fair, right?
There's a lot of traffic out there. So, yeah, let's move on. Venroy, next application, Venroy, 6 South Etna Avenue, Montauk, New York, Suffolk County, tax map number 300-49-4-22. Chris, this is also you.
That looks nice.
This is an application for one wall-mounted sign for the Venroy Boutique at 6 South Etna in downtown Montauk. It's near the Circle, south of the highway. The signage is called out as 49.5 by 7 3/4 inches, which is just under 32 square feet, made of blackened brass lettering fixed to masonry. Letter depth approximately 0.78740 inches for the application. Applied to the front facade as indicated in the mock-up. The photos in the application show this lettering on both the street front and the rear facades of the building, although the application is only for one sign. Currently, there's a sign similar to the one described in the application. I don't know if it was just built before approval or if it's a mock-up. But it's only on the front now. That's the mock-up showing it also on the back facade. The building has a nice brick sidewalk along the side, and the back area is parking, and that's the front. That's the street front, and the back currently looks like that. There's no lighting indicated, then there's no existing lighting on the building in that sign area. So. There's the sidewalk that connects the front and the back. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's everything.
If you could clarify though the situation of, is that the actual sign that you're wanting to keep
Yeah,
there?
one sign, that's the sign in the front.
Real quick, can you,
It's
sorry,
32 square
can you
feet.
just state for the record your name?
Ben Selby, 119 Mulford Lane, Amagansett.
That's 32 square feet.
Yeah.
I'm just a legal assistant with the law firm that submitted this application with Warren, Callie, and Maddox. I'm not with Venroy at all, or I didn't do the sign.
So, the application is for the signage on the front and back,
I
correct?
think just the front.
It's the application on the front page of the application says 1X Venroy Montauk signage. And then, but the photos, that clearly shows that it's on the back as well.
I see.
So I don't know.
I mean, my preference would be, because legally the application is a request for the signage only on the front,
Right.
that we approve that, and if the applicant wants to come back and
Okay.
get the approval
Noted
for the
that.
rear.
Yeah, and I think that there was probably a decimal place typo in the application. It's 4 by 7 3/4 inches, 4 foot by 7
Yeah.
3/4 inches. Sounds like more like 3.197 instead of 31.97
I
square
thought you
feet.
said 32 square feet earlier, and I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think it's a decimal point.
Okay, all right.
error.
Phew, good. That's,
32
I know.
Yeah, that's
New math.
That's a typo.
So what does Venroy sell?
There was a
Clothing
photo
boutique.
that
Shows it's not there.
it shows it's not there. There's no sign in the back.
There is currently no sign in the back. That's just it. I don't know.
This is a rendering
A
of the
rendering-
rear
a
with the
rendering-
signage.
That's the
yeah.
front. That's the front existing as of this morning. That's the
Right.
back this morning.
A rendering mysteriously appeared in this application.
Right.
Yes,
Right, but it's
So-
not being applied for, so
correct.
I think we,
So we just approve.
We
of the
stipulate that
Yeah.
there's one sign on the street front.
okay.
Anybody have any comments?
No, I think
Black
it's
and
tasteful. It
brass.
looks fine to me.
Oh, it looks nice.
Then I'd make,
So front's good, no back.
Correct.
well, I'd
You haven't applied for
like
the
to
back.
propose that we approve this application for one sign on the street frontage of the building as proposed.
Do I
Second,
have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, pass, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Frank. Fisher's signs is zooming in if you want to
First-
ask Jason if he's there.
Okay. Is that's permissible?
That's the,
Sofa.
company.
That's permissible for an applicant to call in and, okay.
So just ask Jason,
Great.
are they on?
I
Did
hope it's good.
Could somebody come to my phone?
Looks much.
Hello?
Jason, is the applicant zoomed in for this Sofo sandwich sign?
Give me one moment.
Thank you.
There we go. Yep.
All right, we're admitting him now. Okay, we have Ron in the meeting.
Hi, everyone.
great.
I appreciate your flexibility with allowing me to do this over Zoom.
Sure. I'll make a quick introduction and then you can introduce yourself formally and welcome to give some comments. Okay, this is an application for a business sign at a business. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Sofo Sandwich, 84 Wainscott Northwest Road, Wainscott, New York, Suffolk County, tax map number 300-197-2-8. This is an application for a business sign in Wainscott on Wainscott Northwest Road, just north of Montauk Highway and up from Goldberg's Bagels. This board not long ago reviewed and approved a business sign for an establishment called The Chicken Place in the same location. This business is now Sofo Sandwich Company. The applicant is requesting approval for one business sign on the side of the building facing Wainscott Northwest Road. The sign will be black and white lettering, black with white lettering and a white border measuring what appears to be, and is in the rendering 10 feet wide by 2 feet high. But I will note in the application, the sign says in the application 10 feet by 3 feet. So if the applicant can just clarify that when we get to it. What you see there appears to be a temporary sign that is close to, if not the same as what is being requested for approval. Okay, so, sir, could you please state your name for the record and welcome to add anything here.
Sure. My name is Ron Fisher. I'm from Fisher Signs and Shirts on behalf of the business owner. You summed it up perfectly. I do want to clarify it is only 2 feet tall, not 3.
Okay.
That's helpful.
And this is what is there currently is a temporary sign, correct? And there'll be a permanent one?
Yeah, they got a banner printed that they put up.
Okay, and this will be on, is this wooden? Is this acrylic? Do you know?
Yeah, it's going to be 3/4 inch thick PVC, and we're going to paint the edges black. So the relief that's 3/4 inches thick will be black to match the front of the sign.
Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. Anybody else on the board have comments?
Looks nice.
I like the way it bends in front of the umbrella.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
That was intentional.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready to make a resolution here. So I'd like to make a resolution for the application as presented, which is a 10-foot wide by 2 foot high sign. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Can I make
And
one
thank
more
you.
comment?
Yep.
I really want to thank Julia for giving me a call and allowing me to participate when it completely slipped my mind after she reminded me. So thank you, Julia. I really appreciate it.
Yay, Julie.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, great. So we're on to agricultural overlays. Let me bring this up. Next application is Fine Residence Modification, Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-189-5-5, 386 Further Lane in East Hampton. I will, this is mine. Okay. Right, so if we, yeah, you can, why don't we go back to appears, I think it's, let's first just put this on slide, let's see, go back and just like slide 2 or 3, because while I introduce this, no, keep going forward. Yep. That's what we approved. Next one. Okay. All right. This is an application to modify a resolution that we passed on August 24th of last year to construct a residence and pool house on a flag lot off Further Lane. This lot is not visible from the street or the beach and is well screened on all sides from adjacent properties. The applicant has requested some modifications to the resolution, which are as follows. Decreasing the overall building height by 3 feet in what is, I believe, is the library wing near the entry. The roof shape is also being modified. Decreasing the gross floor area by 321 square feet. There will be a small bump out. You can see that on the second floor of the main wing of the house, which I believe is for additional space at the primary bedroom. Minor adjustments to window and glazing, resulting in 88 square feet less glazing. And at the pool house, eliminating a portion of a wall to conform to building regulations. So what we had passed was a GFA of 9,496 square feet. What is being proposed is a reduction of 321 square feet to 9,175 square feet. The library height is being lowered from 28 feet peak down to 25 feet. At this point, it'd be great to hear from the applicant. If you could,
Enlarge the,
Sure.
if you could please introduce yourself.
Yes. Good afternoon. Karen Hoke from Timmy Latham. Here with me this afternoon is Adam Miller, the architect, as well as Kristen Fine, the homeowner. There's really not much to add to what you said. It was pretty straightforward, but I do have the architect here in case you want to hear from him or have any questions.
You came out all the way, so I'd like to give you the opportunity to explain what's changed here.
Sure.
Okay, so Adam Miller, architect for the project. So this was basically kind of a result of the homeowner and I kind of working out interiors and programming, basically eliminating a few of the spaces, and then also on the second level, adjusting the primary suite, as you mentioned.
Sorry to interrupt you. Will, can you go back to the slide before that? So you can see what was previously approved.
So that wing on the far left was an entirely two-story structure, and we are revising that to a single-story structure.
that's great.
There is no change to the footprint of the project or the lot coverage.
Okay. While we're at it, Will, do you want to just, let's just make them full screen, not full, but zoom out and let's just go through some of these slides. There's no change in lighting, correct? This is just.
We have one clouded change in exterior lighting, just changing the exterior sconce height from 5 feet to 7 feet above.
Okay, but it's not, you submitted that for
Sure, and
record.
so forth.
So it's not a change in spec.
Correct.
Okay. Here's our spec.
Yeah, no changes to landscape or site plan.
Okay.
Great.
Well, it's not often someone comes before us and asks for our approval to lower lower the building and reduce the GFA. So I'm amenable to this change.
Please, may I have less? Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm glad you diminished the height. I think it looks nicer with that.
The homeowner and I are in line with the board, so we're
That's
happy
great.
to have it
I think
smaller.
that profile is much more attractive, and thank you for that. Thank you for,
Was the chimney there previously in the library?
It was, and that was lowered 3 feet as well, just to meet the height
I was just wondering in
requirements.
terms of there's no introduction of materials here.
No.
It's all been previously approved. Okay.
Right.
It's much nicer.
yes, isn't it? I think so too. I think it looks great.
It seems more balanced.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, well done.
And I want to thank you for the page that we started off on that explains the changes. It's
So
not
helpful.
often we get something has that much clarity to it. So I thank you for doing that.
Good, thank you.
So that. Okay, I think that's a role for anyone coming for a modification. going
Exactly.
forward.
Yeah.
Okay, well, unless anyone has any further comments I'd like to make.
Not at all.
motion.
you
So
for
I'd like
doing
to
that.
make a motion to approve the application as presented. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay,
Do we need him?
okay. So we're on to issuance of certificate of occupancy. So, Mr. Wallier, this is you. I'll give the introduction and then you can introduce yourself and feel free to add anything. So, Will, if you could run through the, oh, yes, thank you. So this is 2 Winterbury Lane in East Hampton, New York, issuance of certificate of occupancy, Suffolk County tax map number 300-63-6-3. This is an application for a CO for gates and fences on a property deep in Springs off Talmadge Farm Lane. On November 30th of last year, this board approved a resolution approving existing as-built deer fencing in the backyard at 8 feet and side yard similar side yard fencing running to the house, as well as two gates located in the side yards, conducted of wood frame and deer fence, not to exceed 8 feet in height. I went and inspected this property yesterday. I will say the gates as built appear to conform to the resolution, but unfortunately there are some things that don't seem to, that do not conform to the resolution. First of all, on the, as shown there on screen, the fence and fence poles in one area of the yard of the property line are up to 8 foot 6 inches, which is not permitted and exceeds the resolution. Second of all, some portion of fencing, you'll see it circled there, however small it is outside of your property line,
Oh, dear.
which is unfortunate. And then it's sort of an administrative thing, which what I just discussed about moving the fence, the property would have to be, the survey would have to be updated, and while it's at it, the gate should be, would need to be added to the survey. It conforms with the resolution, but we just got to make sure that's on the
Gate is
survey.
not on the survey.
So,
That's too bad.
would you like to introduce yourself and?
Sure. Hi, Matthew Wallier, 2 Winterberry Lane. So the area that's 8 foot 6, that's not my fence. I've already went through this with Chip already. So he asked the same thing. This was owned by Chip. I've started about a year ago, this process. I think this is my 3rd or 4th meeting.
It's owned?
The first meeting, we put the deer fence up on that side. That side is my neighbor's deer fence. That's not mine. And so Chip said, I had a bunch of spots along the side there that were over 8 foot. And so I went back and we cut them down. Chip came back to the property and said exactly what you said, Frank, was that fence, you did everything great except that corner, but that's my neighbor's fence. I can't cut his fence, right? So he said, okay, that makes sense. And he said there was one other problem that I had, was if you could go to where there's no gate in that picture. Yeah, see how now that comes straight off the house? Before that fence coming straight off the house where no gate was actually wrapped around into the front of the yard.
Right, and that didn't have approval.
Right.
And he went back and he approved it.
Wait, can I just state for the
Yeah,
record?
let me just get my.
No. I just want to state, you're saying these things on record that Chip Ray told you, that Member Ray told you.
Yes.
That Member Ray is not here to back that up. So I hate to say, we're only hearing your side of the story. I'm not saying that
we should have
you're
minutes,
incorrect,
right?
but I can't legally say there is no record of that.
Well, we had meetings. Don't we have minutes?
Yes, I went back and I did look at the last two meetings of which that we discussed this, and it was stated that the fencing all around your property needed to be cut down to 8 foot 6 inches. I will say,
But it did, and then I did, and then we had another meeting to confirm that, and when Chip went back, he realized, which I thought it would have been nice if he picked it up on the first time he went there, but that's when he realized that the 8-foot fence was in the front yard. So then Chip came back, I had another meeting, and he said, everything's great. He said, all you need is a updated, actually, Kathleen, I think you actually mentioned that everything's great, except we need an updated survey because of where I moved the fence from, because the old survey had that.
Mr. Raleigh, just because Member Cunningham said to you, everything appears to be in line, that's all you need. The resolution clearly states about the building height and two things. And I understand just because this is the way code works, just because, let's say an inspector comes onto your property and says, gives you an approval. It means that what was inspected, the judgment was, this meets, it doesn't mean that you've been given a blanket statement that everything conforms, okay? What I'm getting at is two things that I went back to the beginning of my presentation, and I think we need to address them individually. One is, I'm concerned about the 8 foot 6 inch high fencing because I don't have any way to back that up that you have, there's nothing in writing I've seen that you have not written to us saying that portion of fencing is not mine.
Oh, I was never asked
excuse
to
me,
do- yeah.
if that is not your fencing, it should not be on the survey.
Well,
That's
I have
another
a fence there.
thing.
There's a green wire fence, that's my pool fence.
Okay, what I observed was 8 foot fencing with black poles with this mesh running along, and you're saying at some point that same fence no longer is yours, it's someone else, but when it turns the corner, that exact same material and poles.
Same guy did it. It was the exact same. Once he put his in, I said, oh, that's great, I need that. They're killing my plants.
Okay,
My kids are getting ticks.
in that case, you
So
have that fence, because it's, as I can see there, and if you want to zoom in on that, because that parts of that fence appears to be on the property line, means you legally own it. It's your property because it's and it's also on your survey. So, I'm afraid this has to be resolved in a certain way, in which one thing, if it's your neighbor's fence, it needs to be moved off the property, and code enforcement will deal with that. It also needs to be taken off the survey. Okay?
Just speaking from I know how surveys work, if a surveyor surveys a property and there's a structure on it, that structure's going on the survey. Doesn't matter who owns it or what, it's going on the survey.
Right, and they don't have any way of knowing whose it is.
And even if they did know, they have to put it on there, because if they didn't put it there, they're attesting to what's.
Okay, so.
Surveyors do their business.
Okay, so there's just, legally, there is no way that anyone would say, a building inspector would say, oh, of course that's your neighbor's fencing. It is on the survey, that is the legal document defining the fencing around your property. And if we're gonna go with that, then that fencing, it says deer fence, it doesn't say a 4-foot fence, it says a deer fence implies and states clearly that it's on your property and is implied that it's your property. So it's not, I'm sorry, and listen, I understand you've been in front of this board, but rules are rules. Listen, regulations are regulations.
Well, I get it, but my concern is every time I come here, it's a different story. I am busting my hump to do this the right way, and I've been given wrong information. I've been given wrong information. I would have fixed this a year ago. I got an email stating this is what you need to do. So that's what I did. Chip would go and look at the house. He said, oh, I didn't see the 8-foot fence is on your front yard. You can't have that. Okay, I went back. I did that. Chip said, okay, everything looks great. Get an updated survey.
Listen,
and we got to go back in front of the board. And you got to let me finish at least once, Frank.
Okay, but I need to state for the record that you can say that member A told you this, but you're putting words in someone's mouth who's not here to defend that.
It's in the emails. Tell me what I need to do to get this resolved. You've sent me emails saying that. It's in writing.
Okay, so we sent a letter and a resolution. The resolution states the fence cannot be more than 8 feet high. Your fence is 8'6". When we got the updated survey, you went to do an inspection. The fence post is not on your property. It has to be moved on your property. There's a gate on your property. It's not on your survey.
Okay, I'm good with that. That's the first time that's been brought to my attention, and I will happily fix that.
It's administrative.
It should be on there because that gate's been. Say it again.
When this is all fixed on your survey, we'll do another inspection and get your CO.
And the other thing to address is the where the fence is over the property line. That has been like that when I bought the house. That was on the survey when my house got a certificate of occupancy. So the buildings department passed that. When they came back to me and said, you're over a little bit. And I said, well, look at the survey that's on file. They compared it. They said, we will allow that. We've allowed it for the person that lived before you. I asked for a certificate of occupancy when I bought that house because I've been burned before. They went and got a certificate of occupancy and they had to provide a survey with the clearing and all that fun stuff. And it was in the same spot over. So I don't know, there's no consistency. I don't know how to navigate any of this except someone recommended that I have to hire somebody to do this, which to me seems ridiculous. I mean, I pay enough money in taxes here. I shouldn't have to hire someone to go through this process. I know a lot of people in this town probably have a lot of money that can afford that. And you know, $1,000 is not a big deal, but I don't. And I am sitting here for a year and I am not getting clear on what I need to do. I've been getting misinformed. It's really frustrating. And it's costing me a ton of money in surveys. This is like my 5th survey. It's really unfair. It really is. And something needs to be done because do you think it's fair for me to have to come back when I'm getting misinformed? Why does it have to fall to me?
I don't know how to answer aside from it's our duty here legally to make sure that what is shown on the survey, and this is the important legal point, what is shown on the survey is legal and conforms to the resolution. So this is where we are. And listen, I cannot vouch for the building department, what they told you about something that's just off the property line, but we can't approve I realize what you're saying, that you purchased the property like that. It's fine, but.
And that's on record, right? That's on file in the buildings department, should have that survey on file.
I'm not going to go into the semantics about the building department. Unfortunately, you have to do, if you're going to get a CO for this fence, you have to do what's stated to meet the resolution, and you are currently not meeting the resolution. It's actually that simple. And the rules are your fence needs to be within your property. What is on the survey as your fence, because that's depicted as your fence, cannot exceed 8 feet in height. If it's not your fence, you're going to have a conversation perhaps with your neighbor about that. Frankly, I think the smart thing for you would have been to do is to just ask your neighbor, hey, do you mind if I take 6 inches off that? Yeah. I don't know how you would define
I would have done
that.
I would have done all this if someone told me what to do. I've been here for 4 times and no one has told me what to do. And when they tell me what to do, it's wrong.
It has not been wrong,
Yeah.
sir.
possible. The survey doesn't tell you how big the fence, how tall the fence is. Some surveyors do it, Walbridge doesn't. I think it's better to have the heights because then everyone can just read it. If it said 8'6", we would have known it's no good. But that's,
You don't know it until you go there to do the inspection.
yeah.
I knew about it.
Have you
I knew that it was 8'6".
Have you
Chip found it,
And
that it
what's,
was 8'6".
and what's,
I
what
told
would-
Chip it was my neighbor's, and he said, oh, okay.
what I'm not understanding in this discussion, and I wasn't here for any of the previous times you've come here, but the other thing that a surveyor won't be able to do is to point out, this is the applicant's fence, this is the neighbor's fence. Nobody can do that without, so there's not real clarity. I see the bottom fence line and I see the top fence line, and both waver on and off the property, so.
That's how I bought the house.
Yeah, okay.
Can I make
The
a
building
civil-
department,
can
the building
sir,
department approved
Can I
it.
make it
Because they probably had, it was anyone know who Mr. Mackin is? Anyone from this, you do?
Well, there's two of them. They lived in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
So that's whose house I bought, and everyone had Mr. Mackin
The math
as a math teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's funny how I don't know if you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
But I
And you got
kind
the
of-
math teachers, yeah, I get it.
Okay, sir.
So my point is that I inherited this. I did the right thing to ask him for a CO, and he got a CO, and his flew right through. And he's got fence. He probably put it up himself. He did everything himself.
Okay, we're not here to discuss his property, we're discussing to hear your fence, and we're gonna have to close this argument. I will say what you have in your favor is your fences, these appear to be not like 4x4 posts that are set in concrete. These appear to be poles that appear to be pretty easy to move. So,
Yeah,
I
I would have
understand.
moved it. I would have did it all if I knew what to do, if I had to do
Okay,
it.
it is what it is, and
Yeah, I know.
so the motion
It
is,
is. Yeah.
there is no motion. We will send you a letter and stating about the height of the fence, that all fencing needs to be within the property, and
The gate.
and the gate needs to be added. I think I've said this previously. You feel free to go back and watch this on our LTV. And if it is not your fence, it cannot be on your property. It cannot, and it should not be on the survey, or it should be clearly marked as not your fence. Okay? All right, so we will send you a letter. Thank you. Okay, next application. Suffolk County Tax Map number 300-133-1-36.2, 553 Wayne Scott Northwest Road in Wayne Scott. Diane, this is yours.
Yes. Okay, this is an application for a black gate. The gate wasn't closed when I was there, but, well, you can see it. The house it's a new build on a flag lot on a very long 550-foot driveway. And the landscaping and everything around it seems to be, make a very elegant addition to this neighborhood. The black gate itself is 58.5 inches. So it's less than the 5 feet that's in the resolution.
Above grade?
No. The grade, it varies to 59 inches to 62 inches. But I really think that it's so well done, and this property is so hidden that it's an allowable variance. And
Okay, can
Discrepancy, yeah.
you state what the discrepancy is from what a resolution is to what's being built like? Again, can you just?
sure, I think we have the resolution's very simple. The driveway gate measuring no greater than 5 feet high, made of Azek painted black, with the most recent rendering. So the gate is fine. The gate itself, as I said, is 58.5 inches.
So it was
So it's not-
approved at 60
It was approved at 60 inches. And,
and built at 58.
yes, built
Okay.
at 58.5 inches. And depending on which end of the gate you measure from grade, there's a little discrepancy.
Yeah, but it's,
Of like
It's-
2 inches
it's-
at the
it's
maximum, right? Yeah.
okay.
I think it's negligible.
So the height appears to conform, the design
Yes.
conforms?
Yes.
Can we see the survey?
And is it appear to be in the spot that we located it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you zoom in on that, Will?
Here's the survey right here.
Okay. Does that give a dimension off of the property line or off the pavement? It's well on the property line, though. It's well within the property.
Well,
The gate,
also on a flag lot, so.
Yeah, it's
And the-
very, very.
and the
deep.
call box is not indicated, but there's plenty of room for it. So it looks like
Oh, there was
visually like it's not an issue.
I think it's such an improvement to this neighborhood.
Right, right.
This
is-
I mean, I personally, my judgment, I trust your judgment on this, and that appears, I'm just curious if it was, looking for the original
Look at a switch, just
survey.
walking down that driveway, right?
Well, no, I took Northwest Road from 114.
Mhm.
Oh my God, it's like a war-torn.
Yeah, the trees are devastated.
And no, not only the trees, it's a gutted, unpaved, horrible road. And then suddenly, there's some paving relatively, and then maybe like 2 driveways in, suddenly you take this flag lot and everything looks perfect. So, it's such an improvement. I couldn't.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing of the survey what we had originally approved, this actually, hang on. Whoops. Here's what we approved. It actually appears to be like the front, it was approved as being parallel to the road along with the fence. What was built
makes more sense.
Goes
functionally.
perpendicular to, and
So
I mean,
which
it's
road?
very very close, if not appears to be actually further back than what we approved. So it seems
Okay.
fine to me. I'm happy to show this to anybody.
Yeah, it feels, I mean, when you're physically there, it feels extremely appropriate and it looks really good.
No, it's
Yeah,
just-
that's the
it's
old-
just a matter
that looks
of
like the
whether it
old one
conforms to the
with it, where
resolution. I see what you're saying.
Or it's at a kind of an awkward angle to the driveway.
One post,
Should be perpendicular.
one
Yeah.
pillar is set back more, so it's not completely,
That's what was approved.
Yeah.
This is what was
this,
built.
gotcha.
No,
Yeah, so it's off, it's the angle, it's angled
This
rather
is-
than parallel.
This is what was approved. This is what was
Right.
built.
and
And it seems
as
to
a
conform,
yeah,
at least in spirit.
Yes,
spirit and in functionality, it's way better
Yeah.
now. because-
so we'll just approve it as built.
Yep.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, it's smaller now too, because it's not, that
Yep.
angle will increase the size. It's,
Oh, yeah, good point, yeah.
Okay. You want to make a motion?
Sure. Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve this application for a certificate of occupancy and to instruct staff to notify the building department that this property is ready for a C of O.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
aye, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Great. Next application,
Okay, then
34 Georgia Association Road, East Hampton, Suffolk County, tax map number 300-200-3-45-1. Diane, this is also you.
this is me. I have some pictures, Will. This is one of the most tranquil, charming properties. It is a deep, deep, deep into the Georgia Association. So you're prepared for something charming when and what they have done here is replaced the shingles with new cedar shingles. They've replaced the front door, and they've replaced 33 windows.
Oh, I remember this one.
And they replaced everything in kind as it was. When you're standing there, you have no sense that anything is new.
That's so great.
It looks like it has all been there forever.
Oh, lovely.
And it's just as tranquil and serene as it gets. Everything about it is fine. It's meticulously maintained. It's classic in every way. I mean, obviously the owners treasure the look and the feel of what they have.
That's great.
Okay, can you remind us again what it was that we had passed here?
We passed a resolution to replacement
The
in
windows.
kind of one door and 33 windows.
Right.
Replacement in kind of exterior shingles with new red cedar shingles.
Okay.
And if you didn't know they were new, you would never
It's great.
know they were new. So,
Okay.
yeah, so,
Kathy, Chris, any?
Good. I'm good. Looks
Looks
great.
like it's always been.
Yeah. Sounds good.
always-
Okay, do you want to make a motion?
so therefore, I would like to make a motion to approve this application for its certificate of occupancy and to instruct staff to notify the building department that it's ready for a C of O.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Passed. Okay, next one, last one. 219-221 Pantago Road. I believe this is Carissa's Bakery, Suffolk County, tax map number 300-188-1-13.1. Diane, this is also you.
Yes. Okay, so there you see it. This picture was taken yesterday. You can see that she's already installed the landscaping, the beautifully box pollarded trees that will, of course, in time look just like the ones that exist next door. In question, I think the sticking point with the board was that window, which they agreed to. I think it was Frank that had the idea to change it to these proportions.
Looks great.
Anyway, it looks absolutely wonderful, and it's in keeping with the whole Carissa aesthetic, which I think has been a very welcome addition to our way of life here. And I know that they're very, very happy that, and they were very busily cleaning the windows and ready for the weekend. I'm not sure it's occupied yet.
Does it conform to the resolution?
They would need to give us the go-ahead. They would need our go-ahead.
Our
for the
go-ahead
building
to
department to
occupy.
issue the
So
CO.
what we approved was a satisfactory second-story window design on the south elevation, which they submitted in last September, and we approved on September 28th. And it's considered that the final component of the approved plans was that window.
Great.
4 feet by 5 feet, 6 inches to match the existing windows. Manufactured by Crittall in iron gray matte. And the second point was to demolish the existing building and construct a new 2-story structure as an addition to Carissa's and create workforce housing on the second story of the new building. The structure will match the exterior of the existing buildings at Carissa's with white stucco walls, silver corrugated metal roof, gray powder-based steel storefronts, and white aluminum back of house windows. So it looks great, I think.
So we have a rather major addition in which everything conforms to our resolution,
Yes.
which we don't
Great.
always
That's rare.
get here,
Very rare.
which is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
How lucky are we?
I think the owners are very, very meticulous, and I think it shows and it is appreciated.
Looks nice.
Great.
So if there's no other questions,
Please.
then I would like to make a motion to approve this application for a certificate of occupancy and instruct staff to notify the building department that it is ready for the C of O.
Do I have a second? Okay. Kathy, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. For the record, our next meeting will be next Thursday, June 27th. There will be 4 members present planned as are here at the days here. So I would like to make a motion to close this meeting. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
4:20 something.
Thank you.